We're gabbing. We're gabbing. We're gabbing. We're gabbing. We're gabbing. We're gabbing.
Welcome to Gabbing
Gabbing
with Gracie.
and Heather.
Hello.
Hello. Hi.
I am drinking strawberry lemonade today because I was just like in the mood.
Very good. I'm drinking Vitere rosé wine again, but not too much of it.
It's rosé. It's the summer. Rosé
Mhm.
actually sounds really good right now. Well, this week we are discussing a movie. So we're stepping back from TV shows for a week. And the movie we are discussing is Sinners, which came out this year in 2025. And it is available for streaming on Max. It is rated R. It has a runtime of 2 hours and 17 minutes. And it is a horror movie, which I did not know because I went into this movie so cold. I had no idea what it was about. I just knew our man, Michael B. Jordan, was in it and that it was getting a lot of good reviews.
I had actually seen a trailer and then I forgot about it. So when it came back up, I said, "Oh, this is that movie." I find it. I know that they say it's horror, but someone did bring up yesterday, like, isn't it fantasy?
There's a lot of crossover between horror, fantasy, and sci-fi, but I would definitely call it horror. But yeah, so I was not expecting like monsters and things like that in this movie. But the monsters do make a good representation. I did look at the summary, but I just didn't notice that it said horror. The summary is trying to leave their troubled lives behind, twin brothers return to their hometown to start again, only to discover that an even greater evil is waiting to welcome them back. And the writer director is Ryan Coogler. Do you want to go into who is in this movie?
Oh, yeah. Just so everyone knows, Ryan Coogler is the man behind Fruitvale Station, which I hear is very good too.
I've never heard of that.
Supposedly very good. Maybe we should watch it.
Fruitvale Station?
Yes. Also starring Michael B. Jordan. We have Michael B. Jordan as Smoke and Stack twins in this movie. Miles Catton, hopefully I'm pronouncing the last name correctly, as Sammy Moore. Saul Williams as Jedediah. Haley Steinfeld as Mary. It's a lot of people here, a lot of big roles, I would say. AndreneWard-Hammond as Ruthie. JackO'Connell as Remick. Tanaj L. Jackson as Beatrice. Dave Maldonado as Hogwood. Helena Hu as Lisa Chow. Yao as Bo Chow. Sam Malone as Terry. Lee Jun Lee as Grace Chow. Delroy Lindo as Delta Slim. Jamie Lawson as Pearline, and Omar Benson Miller as Cornbread.
Because we get a double dose of Michael B. Jordan, I was like really fixated on trying to distinguish them. So Elijah Smoke Moore he has the blue hat, and Elias Stackmore has the red hat.
Yep.
And I also made note because they bring this up in the very beginning, so I'm like, oh, of course this is going to be significant. It says, people that make music so true, they can pierce the veil between life and death. Spirits of past and future can bring healing to the community, but also attract evil. In Ireland, they're called the Fili. The Choctaw call them firekeepers. And in West Africa, they're called Rigat. Hopefully I'm pronouncing those words correctly. And this takes place in Clarksdale, Mississippi, over the dates of October 15th and 16th in 1932.
And it's near the Delta, Mississippi Delta.
It's all about Delta blues. The music is so important in this movie.
It is because I was looking it up and I was just like trying to understand what Delta was, and I'm here like I am not a geographer.
I think the Delta is like the low country in Mississippi, like around the Mississippi River. Hopefully that's correct. I'm going by memory there.
You're teaching me because I have no idea. I was looking it up and I felt like it was going over my head.
Any Mississippi River folks out there that can tell me if I'm wrong, let us know.
Break it down for us.
My understanding is like it's like around the Mississippi River, and it's like the Delta's the lowlands. And that would make sense because like Delta blues is like a lot about like pain and stuff, and there would have been like a lot of historically pain around that area because you have like not only do you have like the sharecroppers, and cotton picking that we see in this movie, but also like with the Mississippi flooding over the years, there's been like really tragic situations where like a lot of people have died and stuff around the Mississippi. So I don't know. I'm basing it all off of that. Before I forget, I just want to say I think that the only two people in this movie that have a lick of sense are Lisa and Annie. I don't know if you have a different opinion.
Lisa, yeah. Annie, who's Annie?
Annie, that is Smoke's woman. The one that knows like I don't know, she's like a healer.
Oh, I didn't list her.
Oh, you didn't list her? Oh yeah,
No.
she's a big part. She's a vital
She's a big part. Yeah. Played by Wunmi Mosaku. Is there anybody else we're missing here? Jeez Louise. It was a lot of people. There's Peter Draymanis as Bert, Lola Kirk as Joan, Nathaniel Arcand as Chayton. I remember the names. Graylin Bryant Banks as Patterson, Nicoy Banks as Jacob, Christian Robinson as Chris.
Only in this like a scene or so.
Yeah, but I can't remember like
Terry is only in one scene. He's the guy that got shot in his ass.
I just named everybody off because I couldn't remember who was who.
It took me a hot minute to be like, who the hell is Bert? Bert's an asshole.
Bert, yeah, no, Bert, I'm like, okay, that's somebody like, that name stands out. He's like important. He looks like he's a singer, like a rock star.
Could be.
He co-founded Juno Award-winning rock band July Talk.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, he looks like a rock star, so it makes sense. It makes sense that everyone here knows how to sing.
Yeah, this is almost like a musical, but not really. But yeah. It's definitely like they were like I was saying with like how they start off with explaining how important music is. Like music is its own character in this movie, where it has like the Delta blues, but it also has like traditional Irish folk music.
Yes, yeah. It's a good blend. I think it was ethnically blended and
yeah, we can get into that. It was like good. There was good parallels between the two. But before we get into it, I don't want to forget listeners. If you do watch this movie, or if you watched it and you just didn't watch it in this format, we noticed, and we're both, I think, watching it now, where it has the option for Black American Sign Language, which is really cool. I'd never seen a sign language option before. And so you can watch it with that, and it's just a person in the lower right corner, and they're signing the movie as it goes on. So I thought that was really cool, and we need to have more of that as an option. So, but yeah, like I don't know if you want to, like what you want to jump into, if you want to talk about like the use of Irish music to parallel and contrast with the Delta blues, like the just like Black Southern culture in general.
We can get into everything, girlfriend.
Especially getting into like, I would say the main character, while we think of it as being like the more twins, because Michael B. Jordan's so famous, I would say the main character is actually Sammy, their cousin.
Yes, I agree.
He's the son of a preacher. His nickname is called Preacher Boy because of that. And so it gets into damnation versus being saved, with like church versus like the evils in quotes of music, and then getting into like the power of the Delta blues versus Irish folk music, and how they both are struggles for people. Like they're rooted in like the struggle, and how they complement each other. But also in this movie, they're used as like they're fighting against each other, where like the Delta blues are like what you would consider the like good, and the Irish folks are like the vampires. Because yeah, getting into like the horror, this movie does have vampires. So the vampires are represented by the Irish folk music. So I don't know if you have anything particular you want to talk about around all that.
Not prepared for this, but I
would say think about it under the lens of the book cast, or we watched the movie about it, but like under the caste system as well.
Okay.
Like I know for a fact that the music are supposed to be parallels between the Irish and the Black American experience, because the director / writer Ryan Coogler had said that. But I believe that it's also related to like going more into it with like the use of like bringing in different groups of people. within the caste system to, I don't know if I'm saying this right, to tie in, like it goes back to like how it was like you had with slavery, you had the slave, then you had the like the what were they called? Like
The house slave.
well, not the house slave, but that gets into colorism as well because they tended to be lighter in color. But I'm thinking of like the person who was in charge of the slaves, but not the owner. So not the master, but
I understand.
the
I
handler. I'm
understand.
blanking on what the term is. So those
I
tended
understand
to
what you're saying.
be lower socioeconomic. A lot of times, like people like the Irish who were in those positions, and it was like to give them a sense of like having power over someone. So it goes into that whole like caste system that we've talked about in the past.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. I get you.
What did you think of Remick? Oh, hold on. Before you say that, Annie, Lisa, and those indigenous people. I want to include those indigenous people in that one scene. Those were the only characters that knew what was up, and people needed to listen to them more. Do you remember the scene I'm talking about where they go to Bert's house and they're hiding inside and they're like,
yes, they came to get him, and
they're trying to help. What's her face?
What was her name? Trying to help the couple, and the couple was just like shutting them down because
they suck.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're racist, so yeah, it would make sense that they would.
Joan.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
Joan,
because we saw they had like Bert and Joan, and we saw like when Remick first arrived, they had their KKK clan outfit because Bert was what's his face's nephew.
Hogwood.
Hogwood.
I was just. I mean, I wasn't surprised when I saw that scene, obviously, because we know the history of the United States of America. I was like, of course you guys are not going to listen to them, not going to pay attention to them. And they and you know, now that I completely forgot about them for the rest of the movie until you brought them up now. You know, like they just disappeared. They were like, this is okay, you guys won't let us take care of the situation for you or this person for you, then we're just going to move on.
Well, the one guy said, like, we got to get going before it gets dark.
Yeah. They took cover. And what's interesting is that they know, I would actually like to know more about what they knew of Remick before he got to Bert and Jones. Like, was he around for a while? And he was just, you know, being really sneaky. He was able to get a couple of people. They were able to take care of those people, but he ran away. You know, I wish we had a little bit more context. It just goes to show that people aren't willing to listen to another individual who has a concern for you because you're too blinded by the color of their skin that you don't like.
Exactly. Like you've othered them too much and like therefore you're gonna discount anything.
That is said. You know, and it's not being open-minded to how they come to their conclusions because it's not the same as how you got to your conclusion. If it's even shared, you know.
We can gain a lot of knowledge by listening to each other.
Yeah, we can learn a lot.
And now they dead. They double dead.
Ooh, Lord.
Interesting, because only 2 people survive out of what I'm going to refer to as Remick's cult. Because it's that he definitely has like cult leader vibes.
Yeah.
Like I found what he was saying appealing.
He was pleading. You know, he was saying exactly what they wanted to hear, just like a cult leader. But this is the thing though, like
it was common things that they wanted. They want community, they want fellowship, they want a sense to be free.
Yes.
And we see Sammy say that like when he's thinking back, I think it was Sammy that said it. He's thinking back and he says like that was both the worst and the best day of my life because for just a bit I got to be free. Was it Sammy that said that at the end? Okay.
And it's free in so many different contexts for him because he was able to play his music freely without having his father judge him, being a free Black man, losing his virginity.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of things happened that day. And I just wanted to say, and I'm jumping to the end also with you, that when I saw who played him, I was like, oh my God, like old Sam, like his buddy guy. I know a couple of his songs and that's about it, but I know who he is because he's just so famous. And I thought it was so cool that Ryan Coogler was able to grab him to play that older Sammy. So I just thought it was cool. I still think it's to see him on stage playing the guitar. Yes. Fantastic. Yeah.
Did you catch that behind where he was playing, the sign said Perlene's?
Yes.
I thought that was cool.
Yeah, a nice nod to Perlene. Ouch. The one who helped lose his virginity. What else?
I just remembered where, I don't remember who it was. It might have been Stack. Says he found the button.
He was giving him all the tips. I do get confused which one's Stack and which was Smoke.
That's why I was like, I spent like the first 10 minutes like being like, okay, how can I like figure out who's who? And so Smoke is blue hat, Stack is red hat.
Oh, excuse me. Smoke is the good guy. Stack is not the good guy. If you want to see it that way.
Oh, yeah. But you don't know that until
if you want to see it that way, yeah.
And it's interesting how they're so different. Like they are very different personality wise and stuff like that. Like Smoke is like the more serious one, and he's the one that takes like responsibility for everything. He's almost like the older brother.
Right.
But I don't know which one was born first.
They do mention which one was born first, but I can't remember. No.
I wouldn't be surprised if he was born first.
Yeah, I'm getting the number 4 minutes. I don't know where.
But like Smoke is definitely like the protector of Stack. Like Smoke killed their dad after the dad knocked Stack out, and even like towards the end we find out he's like he felt like a strong responsibility to protect his brother, and he feels like he let him down by allowing. And I say allowing in quotes because he had no control over it. Yeah. Allowing his brother to become a vampire.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the father. How the father treated him.
Well, I'm sure he felt responsibility towards that too. Smoke has like the weight of the world on his shoulders.
He does.
And we find out that he lost a child.
Just about to say that.
Yeah.
He feels more than his brother.
Yeah, definitely.
And I suppose just because you're twins doesn't mean that you are going to have the exact same reactions and to things, so you are still two different human beings.
Yeah, I mean, you have like different personalities and the world treats you differently because of that.
Right.
Like I'm sure that the father, and this is me talking on my ass again as per usual, but like if the father tended to be more physically violent toward Stack, it was probably because he saw him as the weaker personality. Then Smoke, as like the more dominant of the two, of course would feel like he has to protect his brother.
I can see that.
Oh, what did you think about the scene? This is totally off, but it's the scene that's up right now. What did you think about the scene where Sammy is playing in the juke joint and like I was gonna say ancestors, but like the past and the present spirits of music and dance come out?
Oh, that was cool.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool.
And it wasn't even like, it was like multiple cultures and like multiple times and stuff.
I just assumed that it was like the Black culture, the Irish culture, the Asian culture, everyone that was being represented at that moment inside that juke joint. I thought it was really cool because like at the beginning of the movie, it said that music is like the veil to so many different things, and here we are being able to. It kind of reminded me when I hear that, like the veil leading to other things. It always reminds me of Harry Potter. But like you can
back to Harry Potter.
I always kind of if it's not Harry Potter, it's what do you call it? Supernatural. But it made sense when I started seeing that he did that, the director, or he wanted that, because it really wasn't necessary, right? Like you could still show the presence and what it signifies, but
I guess it is necessary in
something
that, like,
more.
I'm just thinking about this right now because Remick towards the end when he grabs Sammy, he's like, you're the one that I want. Like I have been separated from my people, and you're the one that can bring them to. So like he thinks that Sammy through his music can reunite him with his community by I guess bringing the spirits of the past back.
Yeah, I was going to say, I wonder who he's talking about specifically. Like, is it his community of vampires? Is it like I was just watching the scene where Remick goes to Joan and Bert's house, and he is wearing a ring, And I wonder how long has Remick been vampire Remick?
Yeah, I would really have loved to know more of the history of that and like what exactly he was talking about. I assumed that he meant like his human, like quote unquote
Mm-hmm.
human non-vampire community, but
Yeah.
like it could have been like maybe the group of indigenous people that were hunting him maybe hunted down and killed his like vampire family, and those were the ones that he was
Mm.
trying to get back.
Yeah. Yeah, I would love to know. I feel like that is a fantasy
Yeah.
aspect of it right there.
I did
Where-
like they kept with some of the traditional ideas of vampirism where like they couldn't deal with the light. There was the whole scene with the garlic where like
Mhm.
garlic
Mhm.
was a way to get
Yes.
them.
I was actually surprised. I thought that maybe there might have been a twist.
Hmm.
Just because I don't know why. But everything was as is. I was like, oh, okay. We're gonna make this easy. We're gonna
Yeah, it's
make this
like, okay, you
easy.
guys know about vampires. You know, like they're supposed to represent like evil and like they represent sin because like traditionally vampires, they have like a thirst. They thirst for blood, they thirst for sex, they thirst for everything that like Sammy's father as a preacher would be like preaching against.
Completely against. I mean, yeah, completely.
When I was introduced to Delta Slim, I thought that maybe he was based off of somebody, but I didn't really see anything.
Me too. I thought so also because it sounded really familiar. And then it's played by Delroy Lindo, who's like freaking classic.
Yeah, he's an iconic person in different, like, he's one of those people that's in lots of different things.
Yeah, he seemed like he was based off of somebody big time, but just don't know.
Maybe he was based off of like a group of people, like a group of people within like the Delta Blues. I did look up because they mention that, and it ends up being a lie, but I guess Zach told Sammy that the guitar was Charlie Patton's and that they had won the guitar at like
Mhm,
a
mhm.
poker game or something like that. And
Mhm.
Charlie Patton is a famous Delta Blues singer guitar player.
I looked that up as well. That gave him the spark that he needed, and that's why he told him that. Because when he heard that boy sing, when I hear that boy sing,
Oh, it's incredible.
oh my God, what a voice! Butter. He is butter. That's what he is. Oh my gosh.
Put
I'm
him in
trying
more things
to
that he
see.
sings.
Where?
Okay, I'm looking at Bert. He does look like he would be like a singer
Yeah,
or a musician.
big time.
I love that like the vampires, like Remick, Joan, and Bert. Like Joan and Bert have just been like vampires for like an
2 seconds.
hour or two, and they're like all like perfectly singing and playing together.
I was thinking to myself that also, like, how are they so in sync? And I just chuck it to the fact that his blood is in their veins, and they're all connected.
Yeah.
And then we eventually find out that, of course, they are all connected because he's the main vampire, and that's why they all know the songs. They all have his memories. So
Okay.
it like
That makes sense.
yeah, yeah. When I saw that later, like that scene when they were all together, I was like, oh, okay, I get it now. All right. It's another like basic vampire thing where
Like
it's like
canon thing.
you cut the main guy, you take care of all of them.
But that actually they go against that.
No.
Yeah, because Mary and Zach, and they even say like, "Oh, we were wrong about that." It's
You're
that's the
right.
bizarre thing about like the ends where like all the vampires except for Mary and Zach die because like Mary and Zach like took off.
Is
They,
it proximity?
I don't think it was. I think it was the sun coming up. I mean,
Hmm.
maybe it was proximity, but I assumed because like right when like smoke kills him, the sun comes up and you see them all like start to burn, like get like blisters and stuff, like they're burning.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
So I think Remick was so focused on Sammy that he didn't think about that the sun was coming up and that his children were going to die. Because also, like, I think this is canon. If it's not True Blood got this wrong. Or no, not True Blood. Someone else got this. But I, like, there was something where it was like the older you were, the longer it took for the sun to kill you. So, like, Remick could have been like fine for like a few more minutes. He would have had the chance to like find shade because we also see that when he's going to Joan and Bert, he's at their door
Yes.
asking to come in, which is another thing they kept to. Is like you have to be
Hmm.
invited in, which is why Annie it was like on
Won't
it.
invite them
She
in.
was like, you need to be invited in.
Mm-mm.
What's up with
Mm-mm.
that? But anyway, he's like you see he's blistering because he's in
Yes.
the sun, but he doesn't like die and like start screaming like all of the young vampires did.
No, that's a really good point. And I was going to bring this up. How long was he out there for? Like, why isn't he like catching flames? Like, it looks like he was like set on fire, and that's
Yeah,
about
yeah.
it.
I think
And
he
he
had
was
like
able to
actual
get
smoke.
away. Yeah, he did. I just saw the scene, and I remembered it anyhow.
Okay.
That I would have remembered. And I just recall then and now, like, how long has he been out there for? Because this isn't the city where you live next door to each other, or it's not
Right.
modern times.
And it's
People's
not like
homes
the
are far
woods.
away. Yeah. So I think you're on to that. I think that he is an old vampire that's been around for a while. He probably got on a boat and came to America
Yeah.
and has been
Yeah. He's
causing
definitely from the
chaos.
old country.
He's been causing chaos from the Hudson River all the way to Mississippi.
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
want to know more about Remix.
Can we have like a side story? A
Ryan
prequel?
Coogler, we're here for it.
I mean, I think anyone that listens to us knows that we love our supernatural stuff.
That's right. I want to know his story. He's wearing a wedding ring. I am 100% sure he did not steal that. I bet he did have somebody in the past, whether it was a human turned vampire or a
Is it,
vampire, what I don't know, but he has somebody.
can you see it well enough? Is it just like a gold band or is it like one of those Prada
It's a
rings?
gold band.
Okay. Yeah. Remix got layers. And like
He
you
sure does.
honestly, like when he was given his whole spiel about community and fellowship, like you could tell like he actually felt that.
And he's been around long enough to see
Yeah.
the ups and downs.
Yeah. This is what like he is an appealing character. Like he definitely has like charisma. He's got the riz people. And
Look at you. All
that's
right.
like I'm talking like the youngins. Yeah, like this is why like I feel like he's a little bit culty because he has that charisma and he has like these principles that like on the surface you're like, yes, this is what I want. Like I want fellowship, I want community, I want to be free. But then it's like, okay, but what is the like at what expense? It's at
Mhm.
the expense of your soul. One thing I meant to look up more into, but I didn't get a chance to, is what Annie was talking about, like at first she thought that cornbread and the others were hate. And
Yes, I had to look that up.
it's like HAI. Let me see.
It's old Southern word for a specific type of ghost or evil spirit from the Carolina coast found in tales of
Hate.
various regions of the South.
Yeah, so it's HAINTS.
Mhm.
And she does say real quick the difference between a haint and a vampire. Because I guess like the haint is like they take over, like they replace your soul with theirs.
That's what it sounded
So
like.
yeah, so like you're not really, it's not really you, but with a vampire, the soul is trapped
Right.
within, and so the soul can't move on, and so that's why she made Smoke promise to kill her if she turns. But I was like, Annie, she knows what's up. Like they need to like stop and they need to just listen to every word she says.
He's
Like I was so mad at
spiritualist.
Grace. Like yeah, like Grace fucked everything up for everybody. Like she should have just listened to Annie and like they would have been like I think a lot more of them would have lived.
Yeah.
Because in the end, was it just Sammy and Smoke that lived? And like Smoke didn't live very much longer.
No, and he dies, but
That was deeply satisfying.
uh, damn Heather.
I was like, kill them! Kill all the clan!
Dude.
Don't go and kill people.
No, don't go and kill
As a
people.
general rule.
Please don't.
These are fictional characters. I was like,
We are allowed. It's a movie. It's okay. Wait a second. I think I confused Grace and Lisa.
Lisa's the daughter.
Ah,
And like Lisa didn't have a whole lot to say, but like I could just tell she has sense based off of the looks that she was giving her parents and people.
what? Yeah, when Smoke went into
She
the
was
store,
suspicious of everyone.
I think she gave like an up and down look, like what's going on over here? And that in and of itself, the only Asians in town, right? And they have stores on both sides, the white side and the black side.
Yep.
I was like, oh, I was like, did that really happen? Because I don't know. You know, like, did that really happen back in the day?
That's a good point. I wouldn't be surprised, especially in some towns.
Really, really interesting. Really.
Oh, do you want to talk about Haley Steinfeld's character, Mary?
Oh, yes.
She was interesting.
So
She was passing.
she was passing, yes. Well, is it considered passing if it's like two generations before?
In that time period in the South, 100%.
Okay. Okay. Because she still had the blood in her, and that's it.
Yeah.
Okay. So Haley Steinfeld, so something told me, I wonder what her background is.
Oh, yeah, I don't
So
know.
her background is her mom's father, so her maternal grandfather, is half Filipino and half African American.
Okay.
So
She was probably good casting for that then.
she actually didn't, I think, really, maybe she knew about the background, but I think this role helped her reach out to her mom and like talk more about the past and how her grandfather grew up in America being half Filipino and half Black. So she got to learn more about who she is through this character.
That's awesome.
She said a lot of my portrayal of Mary had to do with Coogler, the way that he wrote her and the conversations he had helped guide me to play this character that lived in both worlds. So, yeah, she got to, yeah, look, it's a subtle and poignant nod to the concept of passing. It's really cool, I think, that this gave her the opportunity to learn about her past. I think, I don't know my past. I don't know past my grandmother. And on my father's side, I don't know anything.
Yeah.
So it's good that she had that opportunity to talk about her history with her mom.
Agreed. I think it's really important. And that's one of the cool things about art is that through art we learn about ourselves and others. So like she probably didn't go into that role thinking that she was going to learn so much about herself.
And then bam, here she is.
Yeah. What did you think about Stack kind of like forcing her to pass? Because it seemed like she didn't really give a shit, that it was really him that wanted her to like pass.
Really? You saw it that way? That he wanted her to pass?
It sounded like, if I'm remembering it correctly, maybe I misheard, but it sounded like he's the one that found her a white husband in a different state and got her to go there so that she could live as a white woman.
Whoa, I totally missed that.
And she was like, I want to be with you.
I thought that, like, I remember him saying, like, I got you this, I got you that, but I guess maybe I wasn't hearing well at the time because that's another issue that I'm going through. Really?
Listeners, how did you take those conversations?
Because I think that when he was saying what he said, right, I don't think I knew that she was mixed already. I thought that was said after the fact.
It might have been.
To me, the way I perceived it was that he was like, we can't do this. Like, you're a white woman and I'm a Black man and I can't be seen with you. That's the way I understood that conversation, if that's what you want to call what that was.
Yeah, and that would make sense if like the scene was Sammy where he goes up and is like, not to be rude, but like, what are you? If that happens afterwards. I'm trying to look at my notes to see if I can tell when that happened. Yeah, because she tells Sammy that her mother was half Black.
It was after. It was after that conversation.
Okay, I didn't write my notes in order.
Yeah.
So I can't tell, but I believe you.
Because it was
I wrote down Stack arranged for her to pass and marry a white dude in Arkansas.
Oh, damn. I missed that.
But like maybe I was like reading into it too much too. Listeners, tell us what you think. Because he seems kind of annoyed that she was in town. Like she was in town because her mother passed away.
Right.
And like he was, but like he couldn't say no to her, which is probably why he wanted her far away.
So Mary is introduced as a heartbroken and beaten down, grappling with her mother's death, the white folks who terrorized her mother for being the child of a mixed race couple, and the surprise return of Stack. So it seems as though the mother is the one that's mixed.
Yeah, because she says her mother was half Black.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you mentioned that before. I'm trying to see if there's anything here that says that she was married, but at the end of the day, I actually just didn't see it that way, that he was helping her to pass and that he helped her find someone to marry. Well, that's like major.
Yeah, because I'm assuming he, like, because he loves her, like, he wanted her to have a better life. I would be really interested to know how their lives ended up being because we see them in, like, modern times and they're still together.
Well, they're each other's true love.
Yeah.
Nothing can tear them apart.
And now they're in like a time where they can like openly be together.
Well, they could have been openly together within the Black community. Not that everyone would have been 100% accepting, but
Yeah,
they
I was gonna
probably wouldn't
say,
have been terrorized
yeah,
like in the white community.
it would have been better, but not like ideal.
Exactly.
Yeah, because even I'm just thinking of like you when you hear about perspectives of people who are of mixed race, how they say like, okay, yeah, like we still don't feel like we belong in either. Like one might be better than the other, but there's still that like othering that happens. We need
Yeah.
to stop othering each other is what it comes down to. Like the world would be so much of a better place if we stopped othering each other.
Yeah. Just let people be who they are. You're gonna find your dickwads in Black, white, Asian, alien communities. Dogs, cats, okay? There's gonna be somebody who you're not gonna like. It doesn't matter the skin tone.
Just
And
keep
there's
it
gonna be a
moving.
lot of people you're gonna love. Bring those people into your life. Negativity
Yeah,
away, positivity in. Okay?
exactly.
It's not that complicated. Not.
Like don't use your energy on people that you don't like. Keep it moving
Yeah,
and
you're
surround your project your energy into those that you love.
yeah, I mean, if you think that you're having a miserable life, it's because you're being a miserable human being. You're getting what you're giving.
There
Hello.
you go. Welcome to therapy with Greicy and Heather.
Oh goodness, smoking stack. Or talking to Sammy about what he should do with his life. And they have such oh no. I'm sorry. It's not it's not them talking to Sammy. It's Smoke talking to Sammy. And then you see the juxtaposition with Stack talking to what do you call it? Mary. And it's like the good and evil of both, it seems like to me.
Yeah.
Like Smoke is trying to convince Sammy, don't do this. This is like not gonna be good for you. Well, I guess
Oh, you know what I would like to know more about too is the gold coins. Is that a biblical reference, do you think?
as to what?
So when Mary is talking to Remick, Joan, and Bert, and
Hmm.
they're like Remick saying that he can save her from her pain and everything, he gives her gold coins.
What is that about?
And later on, there's like a reference of like, oh, what are these gold coins? And I think there's even like a reference to like them being from the future or something. I want to know more about these coins because there's something that is like off about them where everyone is like, what are these? Because like when they're inside the juke joint, like
Yes,
everyone's like, what are these coins?
yes.
Because they're
Because,
used to like regular like money. They're used to the
but where did
sharecropper
they get the
coins.
coins from then that they're so shocked about it? Is it the change that they're getting? Is it the money
I
that
think,
they
does
stole?
Mary bring it in? I know that Mary gets some from Remick and then, or maybe Remick shows it to them. I don't know, but somehow they get the coins inside. I thought it was Mary brought them in.
Well, Mary right now is sitting talking to them, and they're going to show her coins. It's gold coins. What type of money is this? Solid gold kind, darling. I would assume that at that point, if they don't they're not branded with anything because it's too early on.
Well, you know what? If he is from the old country and if he is quite
It's
old,
no
they
good
could
to
be
you.
from then because like they could have been like Roman coins or something like that. But something makes me think that there's a reference to them being from the future, but maybe he just says from a different time.
Let me see. I'm gonna rewind. Okay. Where's this from? From a different place and a different time.
Okay,
I
that's
would
my
venture to
brain just
say,
at the future.
you think future, I think past.
Yeah, well, now that you said that, like, I think my brain just interpreted it to mean the future. It's probably that they're from like, they're like Roman coins or something like that. Like, they're coins from like whenever he was a quote unquote human being, like, he was like
Right.
alive. So
Interesting.
they might be like Celtic, but I'm trying to think of who would have had gold coins. So I'm thinking it's like an empire, like the Roman Empire or something like that. And I know that the Romans were in Ireland.
Oh, where are they now? Okay.
Yeah, they were. Those bitches were all over the place.
She still has the coins in her hands. She's walking away, and then Remick, because she's not anticipating that now, is she?
You leap?
He leaps into the air. He can fly. You didn't notice that?
Oh yeah, I do remember that now.
She never stood a chance.
In my notes, this has nothing to do with what you're talking about, but I just saw in my notes I wrote Smoke goes John Wick on the clan. And then he gets to hold his baby.
Oh my gosh, what a scene.
Yeah.
I'm surprised I didn't cry. I'm really
I think
shocked.
I got teary-eyed. I was
Yeah, that's it.
1000% pure anxiety this entire movie. And I think that was the only time I was like, just like sad and like weepy instead
Yeah,
of like pure anxiety.
yeah. He finally
Like
got what he wanted.
everything that happened in this movie, I was like, what are they gonna do? What are they gonna do? What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? Like I was so anxious. Like even like when they purchased the sawmill, I was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, what are they gonna do? Is the clan gonna come? What's that? Like
Yeah, that's what I was worried about. I
I
always
was
get
like
worried
in
about stuff
like
like that.
I was in like fight or flight mode, and I wonder if that was intentional. Because you said you were like that. I assumed it was because I didn't realize it was a horror movie. But I wonder if it was intentional to give you a sense of what it feels like to be like a person of color in the South at that time.
100%. 100%.
If so, they nailed it.
Because let's face the reality. This is
Yeah.
what they went through, right? You couldn't live an honest life.
You couldn't
'Cause
be
they
free
would,
like they were saying.
yes, they will come and they would burn down your town for
Yeah.
just being. So yeah,
For just being, that's exactly it. They would burn down your town, they would lynch you, they would assault you, they would rape you, like they would do whatever they wanted. And by
not
they, I mean
acceptable.
like the racist piece of shit that had any kind of power.
Exactly. Or even no power is the fact.
Well, the power of like caste, I mean.
Oh, okay.
Because that's like, I don't even, I think maybe, did they mention it in this, where it's like, it might have been something else I was reading or watching, that it was like, I think it was something else, but I'm blanking on what it was. If you, the concept, and this goes into caste, that if you make the lowest of the lowest white person think that they are better than the highest of the black person, you can control them. And
Mhm.
so that's what I mean by any sense of power.
That's
Power of the imagination.
what do you call it? That's isn't that straight out of the
Yeah.
movie? Yeah, the movie that we saw,
Oh, origin.
Origin.
Yeah. It might be, but I was like reading something or watching something recently about it. It might have actually had to do with ice now that I'm thinking about it, because it's like slowly coming back to me. But they were like talking about that concept. But yeah, it all
Mm,
comes into
that is a
Isabel Wilkerson was talking
really
about with her study of caste.
I like how not that I don't like it. It makes sense that that's being done now with ice.
Mm-hmm. And like
Like,
even like I was watching a video where this woman was like screaming because the person she was with, who she said was an American citizen, was being detained by ICE, and she went up to like, and I say ICE in quotes because who the fuck knows who they actually are. So they were going,
that part.
she went up to like one of them and was like, "You're Latino like me, like I see your face. Like, how could you do this? Like, he's a citizen." Like, she was like screaming at him. And he was like, of course, like deadpan. But it's that same sort of situation. It's like you set up this power structure where like it's like, oh, the potential of someone of even like your own ethnicity, like you are better than them and have more power than them because of their potential legal status. You don't even know, because it's like they're not asking people even if they're a citizen or if they're in the country legally. They're just like rounding people up. Like it's
Yep.
freaking Casablanca, and they're rounding up the usual suspects. Sorry, old school reference. Watch the movie if you haven't watched it. It's fantastic. Have you seen Casablanca?
I don't think I have actually, so maybe
Oh,
I need to go.
it's really
I
good. And like you'll watch it and be like, oh, that's what that's from. Oh, that's what, like there's so many things. Like
well I know one particular scene, and I think that that's the one that I always wind up catching when it's on TV. The ending.
people will always have Paris.
Yeah.
Play it again, Sam.
As
All
long
the
as it's
gin
the
joints
ending.
in all the world, and she had to walk in the
We'll get to
mine.
mine.
Like there's just so many. But it's like a really good movie. It's like basically it's about Casablanca and Morocco, which was like the last stop if you were trying to like escape the Nazis. You would get there and then you would hope to get papers to go to like the free world. And so it was like people, it's really good. It's all about like corruption and playing the game and yada yada. And so like Rick is like an American that owns like a bar in Casablanca. but like one of the things is round up the usual suspects. And so
Oh.
that's where that term comes from originally.
Oh, that I didn't know.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, because you think if it does come from a movie, it's probably like the movie The Usual Suspects, but no, it goes back to Casablanca.
Okay.
Shout out to my cinema teacher in high school. I forget your name, but for making me watch that movie.
The classics are good.
Yeah. We should do
Yeah.
like a classic at
That's
some
not a
point.
bad idea. Let's do Casablanca.
We could do Casablanca.
Yeah.
There's a shit ton of stuff to talk about, and it's very relevant to nowadays.
Let's do it.
Oh, but to bring it back to the movie, I wrote down like some general themes, and we did talk about this some of these. But I wrote down colonialism, caste, racism, generational trauma, breaking fellowship and family. Remick as Riz. He's very culty and appealing.
Yes, it totally is.
But the generational trauma we didn't really talk about, but I thought that there was like a lot of representation of that. Like, I mean, through the music, basically, Delta Blues is generational trauma.
Okay.
Music
I
people,
have no
music
idea.
history people, chime in if I'm wrong, but I think Delta Blues is generational trauma.
Well, can you
The
tell me
former
what
art,
you think it is? Why it is?
I mean, there's probably a reason why people call it blues that has to do with generational trauma.
Is it generational or is it just racial?
I mean, I would say like generational trauma a lot of times is racial trauma. But like you mean like direct, like within my generation trauma? It's probably both.
I mean, like black and white.
Yeah.
That's what I would think, but I again don't know.
But it goes through
Don't
like,
know.
I mean, because you see when they showed like how Sammy was from like his father's a preacher, but they're also sharecroppers. And so it shows him and other family and friends out there, like his community picking cotton. Like I felt like that was like a representation of the generational trauma of like slavery in the cotton fields and stuff like that.
I was a little bit confused about why they were picking cotton for whatever reason. I was like, because I so associate it with slavery, but these individuals are
Well,
free. Am I
but then
wrong?
they went from slavery to being sharecroppers, which was basically they were picking cotton for very low wages on these old plantations.
Okay.
So they were still doing the same work. They just were being paid and not, like living like some of them still lived on the property. And this got into like this was very subtle, but I thought this was like really interesting where like when they were at the jute joint and the one guy was trying to pay with the tokens, like it wasn't
Yeah.
actual money, it was like the tokens he received from his sharecropping.
Right.
And the one person, I forget who it was, didn't want to accept them. Like I think Smoke didn't want to accept them. And everybody was like, dude, like we're accepting these, like these people work their asses off all day. They need to like online. That was like a whole stick that the people in power did. Like they didn't pay you, like a lot of these places, they didn't pay you in cash. They paid you in tokens that you could then go to the store, who generally the people in power owned the store, and you would pay for your like food and your goods and stuff to the store. So it was like this whole like circular thing that kept you in poverty where you and like a lot of times you would live on the property of like the plantation. So like you would you would work your ass off all day and then you would get these tokens. You would have to pay for your housing back to the owner of the land. And then you would go to the general store to buy your food and stuff that also was most likely owned by that owner of the land or one of his friends and give the money to them. So it was like basically you were being paid for your time and then you were giving all your money back to that person again. And that was also something that they did with like the mines out in the West as well. So it was like you went from being an enslaved person to now being like quote unquote free, where like conditions were hopefully much better. And like at least you couldn't have like your children sold off and things situations like that. So you had like a better chance of being together, like that whole fellowship and family thing being better and like together in your community. But you were still stuck in that cycle of like you're
Yeah.
being paid very little and then just giving that money back to the people who are in power. And so that's where it's like you get this cycle of poverty and this like generational trauma, like of going from like being a slave to being a sharecropper and being under Jim Crow laws and all of that. And it's like it snowballs from generation to generation. And like I totally haven't done any research on what I'm about to say, so don't quote me on anything. But they have done scientific studies where like generationally, like your ancestors impact you physically, even like in your DNA, and things that your generations have gone through will impact you physically as well. So it's like the generational trauma is not all psychological, it's physical as well. Like they did a study, I think it was somewhere in one of the Scandinavian countries where there was a famine, and they found that famine impacted the DNA of like the great grandchildren or something like that. It's either the grandchildren or the great grandchildren. So what your grandparents ate impacts you as a current person now, even though you're like, you had no, like you are so far removed from that time period, but like what they ate or didn't eat passed down to their children and then their children's children. And we see that also in Japan with those that were impacted by the Hiroshima and Nagasaki, the bombings there. Like it's not just the people that were physically there on the land that were impacted. It changed their DNA where like their children and their grandchildren, they're seeing differences in their DNA.
Fascinating.
Yeah. So this is all based off of memory. So I hope I got that pretty much accurately.
Well, I'm here.
So like
my poor grandkids, if I have any grandkids.
Yeah.
Ciao.
So like you were not born in the Dominican Republic. You were born in New York City, but like things that like your ancestors went through in the Dominican Republic with like whatever was going on back in the day is impacting you. And the same with my family. Like if you go back generations, like things that happened during the Revolutionary War, the Civil War, all these different things that impacted like my ancestors in the past are coming back in ways that I have no idea about that are impacting me. So it's like generational trauma is like fascinating.
I had no idea about it until now. Thank you for the lesson.
Yeah. So like something as subtle as them talking about the store coins made me think about all that.
You got me.
As anxiety inducing this movie was, it was like such a good movie. There were so many good like thought provoking themes, and
I didn't think it was anxiety inducing because I knew already. I didn't know who was going to be the vampires or anything, but that scene that you mentioned earlier. Well, we saw him living right at the beginning.
So like I knew that, but like I didn't know what was going to happen to anybody else. And obviously something very terrible happened to him. But part of it with me was I didn't know that it was a horror movie, so I didn't know what exactly was going to be happening.
Oh, Perlene took the garlic right now, and it's like, why are you moving around so much?
She didn't want to eat it, and I was like, girl, they're going to kill you. Eat the garlic.
She doesn't like it. Brought up a good point. Just eat the damn thing, and that's it. It's a hard thing to... I can only imagine that it's a hard thing to chew and then swallow.
It's pickled, too. I wonder...
They said it was pickled.
If that would make it better or worse.
Gosh, I don't think I'd want anything pickled. I'm not a pickle.
Oh, okay. So I'm at the final scene.
Oh, you are?
I'm at the not scene? The final scene. And where, like, I think you're right. I think it's both. They mention that, like, if you hurt Remick, that the others feel it. So, like, he gets staked, and then they're all, like, clutching their chest, like, screaming. But other than that, they're fine for a few seconds. And then we see the sun rising. And then all of a sudden, they start blistering and, like, flailing around. And then they all catch on fire. So I think it's kind of both. Like, I think that if the sun wouldn't have come out, they wouldn't have died. But they definitely would have been, like, weakened because they felt like Remick dying.
Okay.
That's my conclusion on it. But they definitely show, like, the sun coming over the trees, and then all of a sudden, they start blistering and catching on fire. And actually, the same with Remick. Like, Remick, he's staked, and he's, like, screaming for, like, quite a while. But then he doesn't actually, like, he's smoking a little bit and, like, blistering a little bit. But he doesn't actually start to, like, blister a lot and catch on fire until the sun comes up. And
Okay.
he's still like holding, like, he's still standing up, like holding the stake in his hands, like in him. So, like, I'm curious to know if the sun would have come out, would if he actually died, or would he have, like, just been severely weakened from being staked? Like, is this a Vampire Diary situation with the original?
Guys,
Is
you're
he an
cracking me up.
original?
Cracking me up right now. He may very well. I do believe that he's an original. Yes.
He's got the vibe of like an original.
He does. He's got the riz, as you say.
Is he Klaus's cousin? My apologies to any of those who have not watched The Vampire Diaries, the originals,
They
or
probably
what's the
don't.
other one?
They don't want to see it. Oh shoot, I forgot what it was called.
Whatever. Any of the Vampire Diary
I
series
gotta look it up.
world.
Legacies.
Legacy.
I didn't even get to finish typing it. Okay. I think you're onto something. Let's think back about the gold that he brings. He's just so like he has to be. He has to be some old head vampire. Like I'm watching here, what do you call it? When they're talking to him, Smoke. Is it Smoke? There is a stack. Smoke and Grace, and you know, 'cause Bo comes, it's like, oh, babe, come on, you know, and he starts talking Chinese or Mandarin. I don't know.
Taiwanese, according to the subtitles, but she says Chinese.
Oh, okay, all right. They're so connected. It's only the only way I think possible is because he's such a strong. He has such a high position because he's so strong. He's been around for such a long time. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like if a newbie was to go on their own and well maybe I don't know. Like if Mary were to go off and try to do something, would she have that immediate connection with the people that she sired? I'm talking to my big brother. Okay, so Smoke is the big brother.
Okay. I wonder how many minutes apart they are.
I will stick to 4 for whatever reason.
Okay, I just looked it up too, and the Roman Empire did have gold coins, and so did Venice, and actually a lot of medieval Europe had gold coins.
Well, that would make sense. Medieval times. Yeah, definitely. But it originated from the Roman Empire, presumably.
No, actually, so like it says that the first true series of gold coins, known as the Lydian Lion trade, was from around 600 BC. Actually, let me see if that is the Roman Empire or not.
You know what I find interesting about this too? Like everyone knows each other. Everyone in this town knows each other.
Oh yeah.
So they're almost like a family. Because the way they talk to it, like the way Grace is talking to Smoke, you know, like well, it's like they have a relationship.
They have community, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I looked it up. The Roman Empire started in 27 BCE. So that means that the first gold coin, or the first true series of gold coins, which implies that there were gold coins before then even, was 600 BC.
Okay. A long time ago. A long time ago.
What if Remick was before the time of Jesus?
I believe it. I believe it.
Oh, so funny. According to the wiki, they have for Remick's occupation, musician, vampire, cult leader. So I'm not the only one that thinks he's culty.
All right. Okay.
I'm just seeing if they have like anything in here about like what time period he's from. Okay, so it says many centuries ago, presumably before the 5th century, as it was before the arrival of Christianity, Remick was a vampire who was part of a community in Ireland. Following the spread of monotheistic religion and the theft of their lands, Remick's community and its traditions disappeared, and he spent many centuries afterwards trying to create a new community, turning people into monsters like him to achieve that goal. So we are spot on.
Okay. All right.
Oh, here, there's even more. So 1911, due to unknown reasons, the wreckage of the Celtic Hare, a ship carrying Irish immigrants, was discovered on the dock in Boston with no survivors except for Remick, who was seen fleeing the scene by a lone woman. I love how they have like backstories like this. And then 21 years later, Remick was persecuted by the local Choctaw community and ran into the house where Joan and Bert, a couple involved in the local KKK chapter, resided. And then it goes into like what happened in the actual movie.
And this is a wiki page.
Yeah, this is the wiki page of villains.
Really interesting. Who decides, like, I'm gonna create this? I don't know.
Oh, here's some about, okay. He seeks to rebuild a surrogate vampire family through blood and music. He specifically targeted musician Sammy Moore and was attracted by his transcendental music, seeking to use it to conjure the spirits of his ancestors. Remick serves as Sammy's arch enemy.
Yeah, that makes absolute sense. Yeah, that's a good one. It makes sense that, not like right in front of my face. Remick is a singer of the evil kind, and Sammy represents the good kind, son of a preacher. And, I really thought that at the end there, he was just going to give himself up to the Lord and, be a church boy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a good point. We didn't talk about that because at the beginning, in that first initial part where it's like the day after, his father is telling him to renounce his sins and be saved. And so we don't know what's going to happen throughout the whole movie.
Right. But he says we get a clue that he'd rather go. I don't know if he says that or if one of the twins suggested it, to just go elsewhere, live elsewhere, and play his music.
I think he says it to Stack.
He'd rather go to the town next door or whatever.
Yeah. So, but we don't actually know because, that's before all the shit goes down.
Right.
So we don't know until the end. And then, we find out that he didn't renounce his sins. What's interesting, too, along with that line, because we say sins in quotes, is that with both sides of the scenario, the whole, what's, quote, good and what's evil, there's good and bad on both.
Right.
Because like I was saying earlier, how what Remick was saying is very appealing and what people want. There is that downside of you're giving up your soul and you're becoming a vampire. And then on the other side of the quote unquote good music, there's a lot of things that aren't necessarily what we would typically deem as good involved in that. We see adultery, we see violence, things like that.
Right.
So it's nothing is so clear cut.
Never, ever, ever.
Yeah. So I think this is one of those movies that the more you think about it, the more stuff comes up that you're oh, I didn't think about this part. And this will lean towards this kind of conversation. It's a good discussion movie.
I'm curious about something because I'm watching that ending scene and his fingers are very, very long. No one else's fingers are long. I am really, truly leaning towards that he has been around for a very long time and he wanted to come to America and create his own community here and reconnect with his former community.
Which is a big, I know specifically the Irish, but I'm gonna say probably all immigrant communities. It's they come here and then it's you flock to your roots.
Yeah, I mean, hello, I live in Washington Heights, Inwood. It's predominantly Dominican. A lot of people. I think. Don't quote me. It is the second largest Dominican community outside of the Dominican Republic. So we'll go where they are going to be recognized.
Yeah.
It's familiar setting, even though it's in a different land.
We've been hearing this with the mayoral race, too, that New York is also the second largest Jewish community outside of Tel Aviv.
Yeah. Yep. So the AI overview for Delta Slim says he embodies the elder representation of sin and acts as a mentor, musician, and hero in the figure. And then they give a breakdown. He's a mentor musician. He is a key figure in the local juke joint where he plays music and offers advice, particularly to younger characters like Malcolm. Oh, it says Malcolm. His name is not Malcolm. It's Sammy.
We know how AI overview sucks out.
Yes. So that's why that's why I always say this is AI overview. So take anything AI overview with a grain of salt. He sacrifices himself to allow Smoke and Sammy to escape the crouching danger, whatever. Delta Slim's reliance on alcohol is directly linked to his experience with racial violence and trauma, including witnessing the murder of his friend, rebellion, and culture. He views the blues as a form of cultural resistance against the oppression he faced, preferring it to what he sees as the forced spirituality of religion, which he talks about that while they're in the car going to the juke joint. And he's not simply a victim or a villain. His character is a mix of flawed hero, man shaped by his experiences, and a survivor who chooses to fight back in his own way. Although AI overview, I thought those were like good key points.
Yeah.
And that's it. I have nothing else to say.
Can I assume that you would recommend this movie?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I bet if we rewatched it, we would catch even more stuff.
Yeah, totally.
Definitely watch it. Definitely, like, at least for part of it, check out the Black American Sign Language option, because I thought that was really cool.
She doesn't take up a lot of space, y'all. She's not a distraction.
No, that's one of the things I like. She's actually, because it's a woman signing for this particular movie, it's less intrusive than captions. So that's actually a good point. This would be a good option for hard of hearing people if they do know sign language. It is less intrusive on the actual visual scene of the movie compared to the caption. Because sometimes captions go over really important things and you're like, oh, I can't see it. But not all people who are hard of hearing know sign language. So the captions are important to have there as well as an option.
DEI matters.
Yeah, he's 100% correct. Hit us up on Instagram and let us know what you thought of this movie. Did we miss any key points that we should have discussed? Let us know. Our handle is @GABbin Podcast, or you can email us. Our email address is gabbinpodcast@gmail.com. And thanks for listening to Gabbin. Go check us out on Instagram, like and follow us. Check out our other episodes. We are on all the major platforms where you can find your podcast. Feel free to buy us a coffee.
Please do. We need it.
Talk to you next week. Thanks for listening to Gabbin.
Gabbin! We're gabbing. We're gabbing. We're gabbing. We're gabbing. We're gabbing. We're gabbing.